Asian society.
Swadika, welcome to ASEAN Society with me, Kusuma Yotha Samut. Australia was the first country to establish relationship to discuss the ASEAN since 1974. Since then, the relationship grew stronger, especially in business terms or its cooperation aspects. Presently, the relationship between ASEAN and Australia also cover on political issues, business term or business stability, as well as society and culture. With this respect, we have an Australian nationality, which is a PR company, and it is called Midas PR. It's another perfect choice to ensure you and your company get cost-effectively outcome. More importantly, Midas PR is a boutique public relations firm in the heart of Bangkok, with strong local connections paired with international standards and outlook. Their team is multicultural, dynamic, creative, and innovative. Their services including public relations, social media marketing, event management, website design, graphic design. But they have a very special motto is, we are not only create great ideas, but concepts, we implement them successfully. Mr. Tony Lohit Navi, Chief Operating Officer of Midas PR Company, is with us now. We now have Mr. Anthony Lohit Navi, or Kun Tony, Chief Operating Officer of Midas PR Company. I have to say Kun Tony because you have a foreign name with the less Thai surname,
Right.
and the foreign look with the Thai speaking. What are you then?
I'm what you would say the perfect combination. No, my father is Thai.
Yes.
My mother is Australian. Kind of the other way around. Usually it's the foreign father and the Thai mother. But my mum's Australian, and I lived in Australia quite a long time, since the 80s, since the mid-80s. And I moved back to Thailand in the early 2000s.
Before we getting to know about your business, we'd like to know more about your lifestyle. What do you normally, as a foreign living, or you're living permanently in
Yes,
Thailand now?
yes. Lifestyle, if I have time, if I have time, you know, I'm very busy with work, but if I have time, I like to play golf. In the days gone by, I had, you know, a decent level of golf, but you need a lot of time for golf. It's a sport that consumes a lot of time because it's also very addictive. So you spend a lot of time playing it. So with me, I'm a very 100% or nothing kind of person. If I can't play it well, I'll tend to not play it at all.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, I like to play with the dogs. You know, go out
yes.
shopping a little bit. Well, the wife does.
Why do you like the classic 80s rock? I
80s.
heard about it.
It's a good question. I don't know. I think it's a combination of maybe culture and commercialism, in the sense that I think at that time it was kind of the perfect storm in quality of music for various reasons. As I said, culture and commercial. You know, like these days, the way the industry is designed and the way the industry is in music, I think it allows for, let's say, a different kind of music, to be politically correct. I just prefer music from that period anyway.
You are partly half-life of Australian and Thai. What is dishes, the food you like? What? The Australian is or Thai?
What kind of food do I prefer?
Yeah, kind of, yes.
I think, like life, is a good balance. I like a good balance in the sense that, you know, I'm not going to eat. If I like Thai, I won't eat Thai all the time. You know, you'll get bored of it, and then you go and eat, you know, Australian food or Western food. So I like even during the days, I'll mix it up. So I like all kinds of foods, but Australia does have its, some unique dishes that are, Australian.
A kind of a burger.
The Aussie
Australian
burger. The Aussie burger, yes. What makes an Aussie burger is the fact that it has a fried egg in it. Yes, a fried egg, and beetroot.
Oh.
These are the two distinguishing ingredients. Usually cooked on a barbecue as well, which is the outdoor grill. This is the Australian
I think we'll
way.
have a chance to look at it. We have to see that.
Okay.
How it looks like.
We have to go back to
Okay.
Canberra, where I live, where I used to live.
Okay. So tell me, since when did you decide to launch the business in Thailand?
It was about 2007. I formed the company jointly with my wife, and she was already kind of, because see, my background was finance, and my main job in this company is looking after more the administration, the accounting, all the numbers, so to speak. But I also, of course, I will do all the other functions when necessary, whatever the boss says.
Oh.
So,
why do you choose here?
Thailand, Bangkok.
Bangkok.
Good question, and there's a good reason. The fact that, especially the last 10, 15 years, we're seeing the development of Asia, the rise of Asia for sure. Because now with all the, we're seeing now especially all the problems in the West, economic issues in Europe. We're seeing not just Europe, even the US has its issues, although now the US is still the strongest of, like the best of a bad bunch. We're going to now see Asia, we already have seen Asia rise the last 10, 15 years, and will rise further with China leading the way. And with China leading the way, we're here to benefit from, how would you say, crumbs off the table. It's not a nice way to say it, but it's we're ready geographically because of the proximity to benefit from the boom of China and Asia in general.
ASEAN.
ASEAN.
How did ASEAN come into it? Yes.
How does ASEAN come into it? Being with the AEC coming in 2015, a lot of people question how significant it will be. I think it will be significant in the sense that at least they are putting something on the table. And there's been a lot of course there's been a lot of talk, but I think we'll see a lot of action. There's a huge market in ASEAN, at least 500 million people. So we are here, we are here and we are set to benefit from that. Interesting fact in the sense that Australia was actually one of the pioneers of integrating ASEAN into Australian politics.
Exactly.
One key, in my opinion, one key Prime Minister who led the way was Paul Keating. He was one of the founders of APEC, which is the Prime Minister's kind of conference, Prime Minister's only conference. And he was one of the great Prime Ministers that got, opened the dialogue for integration in this region with Australia.
Very interesting. So how about, can you tell more about your, now we come back to so the looking at the ASEAN is a bright future for PR business?
Oh, I think so, because if you have a region that is prospering, that is where the market, how would you say, where money is flowing in, investment is coming in, especially from not just Asia wide, but from Europe and from America, because when their economies go down, people are going to look elsewhere.
Yeah, right.
You see, they will start looking elsewhere to invest, to see better opportunities because of, simple reason of cheaper labor, maybe better tax, all these reasons that that business do business. So to be here when business start up, if they as I say, when they bring in money, they want to create new business. When they start up, this is the point where they really need a helping hand, and this is where companies like us can really benefit or help them.
So in Thailand, do people know Maida quite well?
Yes, we've been in the market for now 7 years. You would say it's not a huge amount of time, but it's a decent amount of time to establish yourself. You can do, you see, it hasn't been smooth sailing in terms of economically and politically, not just in Thailand but in the region. If you're talking like, you know, we've had a number of kind of bumps along the road in Thailand. We don't need to go into all that kind of stuff, but you know, and also the flooding 2011. So there's been a lot of you know, hurdles, but we're still here, and we're set to benefit from, as I said, the coming boom in Asia. Right now, the world economy is kind of flattening out. China is slowing down, but I see that ending within the next year or two. So if, you know, as long as we can kind of tough it out a little bit, I think there are big opportunities coming.
So how do you describe the social media marketing?
Social media marketing, well, you see nowadays with Facebooks, with Twitter, all these, you know, how to say, Y generation applications that are instant. You need to be able to maximize these applications so that, you know, news now is instant. So traditional media, while still effective and is still needed, you have these Facebooks, Twitter, where you can update news straight away and change news straight away. So this is a tool that, you know, you must be on top of, and is very key for, you know, delivering good work.
But I like the motto of yours, like bring the golden touch to every event. What do you want to say by that?
Well, you see, we like to create a little bit of a wow factor when we do events. There are many events in Bangkok, in Thailand, every day. But if you can do something that's slightly different, that's memorable for the clients, that will give them that edge, then that's what we do. That's what we do for clients. We will, you know, we will go to the very ends to deliver that wow factor.
To you, what do you think that PR work is really important for every business?
You see, as opposed to traditional advertising, although, you see, I'm not saying anything against advertising, some advertising at some points in the life cycle of a business is important, but there's nothing like third-party endorsement, which is, you know, just simple column in a magazine, you know, an article about a particular service or product of that, you know, that a company provides. It's just more effective. A lot of people, you know, will look through a magazine and just skip the ads and not really look at the ads. But when someone else is telling them about a product, telling the reader, the audience about a particular product or service, it kind of gets more embedded in the mind. It kind of, you know, has a bigger impact, a deeper impression. So that's why we think, you know, PR is always essential.
How about Maida is intend to be located, settled in the country of ASEAN of any of countries?
As I said, you know, with ASEAN really, you know, ready to take off, along with China, we're going to see and regulations opening up, hopefully with the AEC this year, beginning in December. If there are openings, business will see opportunities in other countries too. Let's say for a business that's started in Thailand, they can maybe see opportunities of opening up in Singapore because of favourable regulations. And with, as I said, the market growing, with the economy in this region expanding, in this region, ASEAN, of course, there's going to be and flow of labor. There's going to be, it's going to be almost easy. It's going to be like, you know, encouraging for businesses to, you know, maybe have branches in other countries and serving other markets.
You talk about Singapore, but how about countries like Laos or Myanmar?
Right.
Do you think that PR business is really recognized and needed?
In those countries, as of yet, I think if you're talking about those specific countries, Burma, Myanmar comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's really coming up fast. It's really opening up. Has been for a little while. You'd have to assess the market. You'd have to look at where exactly, what kinds of businesses are going in there. You'd have to see what kind of PR they will need at this stage. It's quite early, but there are definitely opportunities in those countries. But I'd say at the forefront would be Myanmar first. Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, I'm not quite sure yet. We haven't really had any plans for those countries yet, but I think definitely Myanmar would be the first place we'll look at.
Just to make the Thai and the foreign audience who listen to you today, where, I mean, what is the prominent, what are the prominent companies or what that you really hired you to do it so far?
So we've worked
what
with,
have you done?
We've worked with SASIN. Yes, we worked with SASIN.
University.
Yes, there was a forum in 2012.
That's it.
We've worked with, actually our very first client was, I'm mentioning this because my background is finance. CIMB was our first client. That was back in 2007. So because they were coming into this market and we launched them. So that was a good first one to have on the resume. But we've also done not just companies but individuals too, but prominent individuals like Martin Armstrong, for instance. He's not so much known in Thailand, but he's a financier. He's like a George Soros behind the scenes because he's actually worked with governments and he basically manages the economies. He basically, you know, tells governments how to run the treasury, for instance. You know, how to manage their bonds and their portfolio of, you know, of assets and multinationals, of course, too. So he was someone I was proud to get because I went to America to meet him and bring him back. Yeah, we went to his conference in 2011. And yeah, we got him. Yeah, he's one person I was proud to have on our.
But lately also you have something in car in the vehicle.
Yes, Moke.
Yeah.
Moke. There was. We recently had the motor show, and they're launching they're relaunching actually. It's a remodeled car called Moke. Based on it originally came out in the 60s. It was intended to be kind of like an army jeep, but now it's intended for kind of recreational, you know, angle purpose.
Right.
To have, like resorts and golf courses might use to drive their clients around, or yeah, but it's a nice car. It's a good car.
So our program is called ASEAN Society, and so we consider you are the ASEAN, one of the ASEAN people here.
Okay.
So we need to see how our family of the ASEAN doing something, cooking or doing something on the thing that we want to see how it's looking like when you do something like that, apart from being a young, energetic business people. So let's go and see the
You want some action?
Yes.
Can?
So let's go and have a
Sure.
look at all that. You see, we're going to. So
Can.
follow us to see where is this young and energetic businessman doing. We've been talking quite a lot, but I really don't know what is the Midas stand for, or what is Midas behind his name.
The story behind Midas? See, actually, Midas was the king in Greek mythology. And the story was that everything he touched turned to gold. But instead of thinking that was a good quality or a beneficial quality, it actually was a curse.
Okay.
So
But
so what happened was that because at one point he was hungry, the king, and wanted to go and went to grab an apple or to touch an apple to pick it up and eat it. But obviously everything he touched turned to gold. So the apple turned to gold and he couldn't eat it. So actually it turned out to be a curse and
So
that was-
so you people touching anything money and gold, right?
so what the real moral to that story is that it's perception that matters. Everyone thinks that everything the king touched turns to gold. It's a good thing, but it not necessarily is. So you have to make sure you have to make sure you can portray a good perception. That's very important.
Very good. So we would like you to touch it as gold.
This won't
Or
turn to
this
gold.
burger to turn to gold. So we have here, as we all know about Australia, have a very special kind of burger. They call it Australian burger. So actually, it's not this little thing. How huge is it going to be?
Normally, it's a bigger burger, but this is a new age. East meets West burger.
Okay. So tell me, what are you going to do about this? I've seen this. This is the egg. What is to do with it?
Okay, so normally we would have a bigger burger.
Okay.
So instead today we have a smaller burger. So we would try to cut the egg
Okay.
to fit into the burger.
Okay.
So shall we?
Yes, please. We'd have to take this out first, no?
Yes. I think when we're ready to put it in, so that it can stay
Let's
like
see how
that.
you cut.
Let's see.
Is there a special way of cutting too?
We'll have a bit of yolk. Why not?
And watery yolk.
Yes, we need some of that yolk. It's good. It's for energy. So shall we? Now we can take that out. Put that in. Slippery.
Wow.
There you go.
Two,
then-
make it two.
And then eat.
Again, put it back.
Okay.
Ding.
How's that? Good. Luckily, this yolk is not too runny.
But it has to be running, type of thing.
This is runny enough. You don't want it too runny.
So tell
go.
me, a real Australian burger should be what? Egg?
Okay, so the Aussie burger is just a normal burger, but it has also beetroot and egg.
Beetroot and egg.
So sometimes, actually, funnily, this one came with pineapple. Sometimes you also can have pineapple. Depends how you feel on the
it's gonna
day.
come out. Yeah.
Depends how hungry you are.
Ah, okay. We'll come back to it later. So, well, we had a real brilliant conversation with Mr. Anthony, and get to know more about him and his fabulous company. So, above all, I was surprised to see the expat like this, a company being very successful. So, despite the fact that it is not their homeland, as a Thai citizen, I also like to share my point of view of that Thai PR. And the company have learned that strategy from them. It's time for us to say goodbye now to the audience, and we'll be back to you next week. So have a nice day, everybody. But before that, we want to test this. Do you want to test this with us? Yes, please do. Come on.
Okay, ready?
How do you do it? I'll
Okay.
take it out first.
Yeah, I think just so you don't
And then,
hurt yourself. Okay, ready?
right, 3, 2, 1,
1.
together.
Cheers.
We will say goodbye now to the audience. Bye bye. สวัสดี
สวัสดี
ค
ครั
รับ บ